Okay, folks, what is happening, everybody? Gonna get my level right here, and hopefully this is good. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Alex, let me know how this is when you get a chance. And I do believe that we have gone live. Live, live, live. Looks that way. I can see myself on my other screen. And I'm hoping that the level's okay. If it's not, just let me know. And we'll go from there. What's happening, everybody? So, look at that Chick-a-Pig. Hey, Chick-a-Pig, what's happening? Hey, Lori. Hey, Aria from New York City. Hey, from Seattle. Alex Chapman from Seattle. Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming out and hanging out for a bit. Hey, Sydney from Fredericton, New Brunswick. Whoa, God, that went by really fast. Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. Go a little louder. Okay, hang on one second. I'm going to go a little louder. Let's see. This is probably pretty good, huh? Hope this is all right. So Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. Don Harris, hey. Craig Spencer in Indiana. Tyler Hill, what's happening? Hey, Doug from the 603, what's up? Oh, look at that. Yuko's on there. Hey, Yuko. How are you? I'm going to like your reply here. Everybody, when you get a chance, say hello, Yuko. It's Y-U-K-O. That's my sister-in-law from Japan. And they are just now getting up in the morning. Hey, Sacramento. And hey, Sydney from Alpine Valley, close to Wisconsin. And I hope you guys are having a good night. Hey, Beth, how are you? Nice to see you on there. So let's see. Yeah, I've been working all day on some really cool stuff. I'm working with a Hungarian band. It's a Hungarian fusion band. So I've been playing their music today for most of the afternoon and working on that, which was super fun. And I've just been kind of messing around now. Oh, someone's in Nashville listening. Me too. Flooded Studios, what's up? Hey, Ian Cruz. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Denver, Minneapolis. Yeah, everybody say hi to Yuko when you can. Thank you, thank you. Everybody saying hello. And so I've put a couple of things together for tonight. Again, I'm not really exactly sure what Facebook is doing these days. If I'm going to be able to continue this on here, more than likely I'm probably going to move to YouTube and do that. But one of the things I figured I was going to do, I think maybe I played you a little of this last week, but this is a tune. This is a group called Band of Other Brothers, and this is myself, Jeff Babko on keyboards, really incredible keyboardist out on the West Coast. If you ever watched the Jimmy Kimmel Show, any of you guys ever watched the Jimmy Kimmel Show? Anyways, he's the keyboard player on there. He also plays trombone, keyboard and trombone. Kind of a blonde hair, nice looking young fella. So anyhow, he's in the group, and the great Will Lee. I see somebody from Pittsburgh on here. Hey, Clyde from Pittsburgh, what's up? And Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Michelle, hey, Pottstown, Pennsylvania. And then the great Will Lee is on bass. If you ever watched the David Letterman show, you would have seen and heard Will Lee. He held down that bass chair for the entire time. And Nir Felder is on guitar. Nir is a great, amazing guitar player out of New York. And he's been touring with Erykah Badu and all sorts of different people. He's really incredible. So rounding out the group is the great Keith Carlock on drums. And Keith actually lives here in Nashville, and he's amazing. And so we've been working on this, and this is one of my tunes. I don't want to play any of their tunes, but I will play you one of mine that we've been working on. And this has everybody except for Near on it. So Near is finishing up his parts. So I'm going to play this for you. And I think I'll just go ahead and play the whole thing for you. I think maybe I fixed some parts this week on it, and so I've been doing, usually what I do is I do little bits and pieces of certain things during the week. If I'm working on this, I'm working on that kind of thing. I've been doing a lot of teaching also. Oh, I got to say also that today is my sister and my niece's birthday. They are not the same age. So yeah, my sister had my niece on her birthday 25 years ago. And so my niece Morgan is 25 years old. My sister Laurie is years old. So lots of love and happy birthday to them as well. And say hello to my mom. Hey, Connie. How are you? I hope you're out there listening, checking it out. And I love you. Hope you're doing well. And sure do miss seeing you, but hopefully soon. Anyhow, we're going to jump on into this tune. And I'm going to let it play. It's about 6.5 minutes long. And I want to let you know, too, that I have this flute etude book that is now available as an ebook as well. It's got 10 improvisational flute etudes and a picture of me on the back. It's pretty great. It looks really good. You can see that everything is looking good there on the inside. Very legible, which is nice if you're going to be playing music. You want it to be legible. And you can check it out at jeffcoffin.com/flute. And I'm also going to do this for clarinet too, so that there will be a version, an exact version of this for clarinet as well, with the same solos, and so you'll be able to check that out too. I wonder where we were supposed to be playing tonight. Were we supposed to be on the road tonight with Matthews? Let me look here. I'm going to go into my calendar and find out. I'm always intrigued as to where I was supposed to be. Let's see. There was supposed to be some kind of festival tonight. It says canceled TBD festival. I don't know what the heck that was, but we're not there. All in all, I have to say also that the last 7 months has gone by pretty quickly. In retrospect, when you think about, when March was, it's gone by quick. Hasn't been the greatest time of our lives, but I hope everybody's been staying safe out there and that your families are okay, and that you guys are getting through it all right. But man, this year can't end quick enough for me. So let's hope for brighter days for sure. All right, so let's play this tune. This is called That's Just Gross, Man. And this is dedicated to the late, great Steve Grossman, who was a fantastic, incredible saxophonist. Played with Miles Davis when he was in his teens. Played with the great Elvin Jones for a number of years also. There's an incredible record called Live at the Lighthouse, which is Dave Liebman, Steve Grossman, Elvin Jones, and Gene Perla on bass. And if you get a chance to check that out, it's pretty ferocious. And Steve went on to make a lot of really great records. He passed away maybe a month and a half ago or so, in his late 60s. He died pretty young, actually. So in dedication to him, this is inspired by some of his music. Doesn't sound like really anything like his music at all, but it's inspired by it. So I hope you like it. This one's called That's Just Gross, Man. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat, and we'll get to them as well. Okay, see you in a minute. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and... This is the introspective part. This will be the guitar solo, so just sing one to yourselves. Sorry, I thought that was the transition. I don't even know my own tune. I think it's coming up right after this. Back to the original section. Right here. Ah. See, I knew it. I was just checking. Testing you guys. That's just gross, man. Yeah, it's going to be on a new record coming up. I'm not sure when. We're just in the process of finishing it with a band of other brothers. And so we hope you will check that out. All of us hope you will check that out. The collective we. It's not like we, it's the collective we, us. Us, we. Also kind of we, it's kind of that kind of band. But I'll let you guys know when that's out also. And we've just been doing it in our studios. You know, I did all my parts here. I sent, well, Will, the bass player, he was actually stuck in, like, somewhere in the Bahamas, or I think he was in the Bahamas for the first part of the shutdown. He lives in New York mostly, or L.A., um, depending on the time of year. And so after the gig that we did there in March, that Love Rocks gig, that was my last gig that I did. Um, it was Will Lee that was on that. Matthews was there. Tedeschi Trucks. Steve Gadd was playing drums. Um, um, Eric Krasno. It was a huge, huge list of amazing, amazing people. A fundraiser for a foundation, a charity that feeds people in New York City, feeds them healthy meals that are catered to whatever their physical malady is actually, and it's pretty unbelievable. I think it's called God's Love We Deliver, and if you get a chance, check that out online. God's Love We Deliver, and it's a great place to donate, and especially with the holidays coming up, there's a lot of folks that are in need, and so check that out. Hey, Toronto again. Brandon, yeah, stuck in the Bahamas. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're not home, it's not a bad place to be, but, if you can't get home, you can't get home. It's kind of like being Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, man. If you can't get home, it's sort of like, man, all you want to do is go home. And, but I feel you. But, so Will has been working on his parts, and Babco lives in L.A., as I said, Keith Carlock lives here. Near Felder lives up in New York. And so we've been putting stuff together just kind of all over the place. And it's really sounding great. This is no kind of a mix. This is just my mix here in the studio that I'm working on. And so, all right, well, let me see what kind of questions there are here. Can you play Happy Birthday in an odd time signature? Well, I guess it's what you consider odd. Usually when you play Happy Birthday, unless you're kind of playing it to a groove, it's already in an odd time signature. But yeah, I'll play Happy Birthday. I'll play Happy Birthday for my sister and for my niece. Hang on one second. All right. So that was Happy Birthday. I'm not sure what time signature that would have been in, because it was kind of free, um, you know. So yeah. So Morgan Sloan, my niece, is 25 years old. My sister Lori Sloan is years old, and so happy birthday to them. I love them very, very much, and I don't get to see them very often, of course, because we are locked down still. Well, not locked down, but we are recommended not to be around lots of folks. So trying to do my part. Hey, Per Danielson, what's up, buddy? Hey to Tammy, if she's there, give her a big hug for me. Per Danielson is a very good friend. He's from Sweden originally, and he's a brilliant pianist living in Florida. His wife Tammy is an incredible saxophonist. They are a dynamic duo. And your son is in college, is that right? I can't believe it, man. That's got to be crazy, right? Anyhow, Heidi Chambers. Hey from Maine. Hi, Heidi. Hope you're doing well. So I was thinking one of the other things that I was going to play, I kind of put a little something together. It's pretty mellow. And let's see here. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. We'll see how far I get in it. It's about, I don't know, like 11 minutes long. We're all going to be like a little pool of jelly on the floor after we're done with this one. But so what I did is there's this Shruti box. This thing here that that you play almost like a pump organ, right? And these little things on the front, hoping you can see them. If you move them, they'll change the sound. Hang on, I'm going to turn this other mic on 1 second. Okay, so you should be able to hear this through that other mic also. So in doing this, in moving it, if I close them all, you won't hear anything at all. Right? There's just air. So right? And so depending on which one I open, you hear it? All right, so what I did is I recorded this earlier, and I'm going to move this a little bit so we have a little bit better visual there. Sorry, hey, from Germany, Vancouver, British Columbia. Hey, you guys, what's happening? Craig Spencer. Oh yes, I'll move the camera down so you guys can see this a little bit better. Hopefully that'll work there. If not, I'll be able to see it here in a second. I kind of do self-monitoring also, kind of in general. Sometimes I'm not very good at it, but yeah. So anyway, so I think you can see it now. So again, these buttons, when you move them, it's not really like an accordion, because accordion has buttons that you actually push down, but this is wind driven. You can see on the sides when it fills up with air. Okay. So again, when I open certain ones, Ba. Here's the major third. I bet right next to it's the minor third. Oh, look at that. So it goes in half steps, basically. So right now, basically, well, not basically, but I've got the root, the fifth, and the root again. It's hard to do this holding a microphone and balancing it on my knee. But I think I'm getting it okay. Like I've said many times, you know, with this show, you get what you pay for, and it's free. Sounds pretty cool, though, huh? So what I did, set this down over here. Whoops. Yeah, you never want to hear whoops when you're putting down an instrument. Hey, Syracuse, New York also. How are you? It's a bagpipe box. It kind of is a bagpipe box. It's the same principle, basically. It's definitely wind-driven. So what I did is I put down a track to mess around with it, and then I laid down just a little bit of bass, just a couple of notes, just to like keep it going, you know. And so check it out. There's the bass. Right, and that's just kind of what the whole thing is. So I'm just gonna do just a few minutes of that, just because it's kind of a nice mellow thing. And so you know, if you got a big glass of wine, gulp it down, get another one, and we'll chill here for a few minutes. Just gonna set this up here, and I'm gonna wash out the drone a little bit more. I'm going to put a little bit of delay on it also, actually, because I can, and it sounds cool, I think. We'll see. We'll see how it sounds. Hang on. Yeah, it sounds fine. Oh, you can hear it there when I stop it. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to try it and see what we come up with. And I'm thinking that what I made. Let's see, what instrument am I going to play? I think maybe I'll start with tenor and then maybe go to Terregato, just because I'm not sure that I've played Terregato too much for you guys, and I've been playing it today. So I kind of want to get into that a little bit as well. Terregato, by the way, is a Hungarian instrument, and I will show this to you here. It's a Hungarian instrument. It's a conical bore, like an ice cream cone, okay, and it's kind of a cross between a clarinet and a soprano saxophone. And I recently bought this one. There's a Terregato maker in Budapest named Josef Toth, T-O-T-H. And this is spelled Terregato, T-A-R-O-G-A-T-O, all one word, Terregato. And he's the world's premier maker of these. I think somebody's making a bass Terregato also. And, of course, Scott Robinson up in New York, who's an incredible woodwinds player. Of course, he has a bass Terregato. He's insane. And incredible musician, but he's still completely insane in the most beautiful of ways. So anyhow, I'm gonna play this a little bit for you too after I play the tenor, and just kind of kind of chill and mellow out a little bit, see what we get into. Um, yeah, I'm going to try that now and see what happens. And thanks for checking this out tonight too, you guys. I know that there's a lot of things that you can do on a what is tonight? Friday? Yeah, on a Friday night. But I appreciate you being here very much and checking this out and being here with me. The reason that I do this is to raise money for local Nashville musicians. I've been doing it since March through iTA studio streams. My studio is called, this is my studio, it's called Into the Air. And so I've been raising money. 100% of that money goes to local Nashville musicians. Certainly well before the year's end, within the next couple of weeks, we will have raised $10,000, over $10,000. And so thank you all for donating. No amount is too small. Certainly no amount is too large. And you can go to itastudiostreams.com, and there's a PayPal link there if you're interested. There's a bunch of information about it also. And so I do this every Friday to kind of communicate with you also, play some music, work some stuff out, say hello to some people, take some questions, which I'm going to do here in a minute, before I start playing actually. And but also to let you know about that cause. And it's not a 501(c)(3), so I have to pay taxes on everything, which I'm fine with. And it's for the good of the community, and I'm very happy to be able to do it. So I hope you'll check that out, itastudiostreams.com. Okay, so I'm going to get to a couple of questions here before they add up, and I don't have time for them. Leander Hoover says, what percentage of material have you played in the last 5 to 10 years you just kind of pull off without a rehearsal? And are you playing from memory, or using solfege key for hints? It depends. A lot of the music, I write a lot also, so there's a lot of my music that, man, I definitely could not play without sheet music. A lot of it I could, but I compose so much that I would depend on that. With Matthews, because I've worked on the material so much, I think they'd probably be fine. I always like to listen to things just so I've kind of got them going through my mind, because I don't want to be the guy that steps in the hole, So I'm not sure what percent of material there would be. I mean, I would say probably a solid 75 or 80%. I could probably wing it and get through it, but I'd probably make some mistakes. It's all part of it, right? Doug Cormier, would you do another album with the Flecktones? Yes, I would, of course. Love those guys. There's actually a tune that I recorded that I'll be releasing, that we're going to be raising money for people who have lost their homes and whatnot in the wildfires out west. And some friends of ours lost their home and their possessions, a lot of their possessions, in those wildfires. And so I wrote a tune, and I've got Bela Fleck, I've got Howard Levy, Future Man playing acoustic drums, and Victor Wooten on some kind of crazy hollow-bodied bass that we all did in our respective places, and myself on tenor sax. It's not a Flecktones release, but it's all of us together for the first time for this cause, and I'll be letting you all know about that as well. It's a tune called New Beginnings, and it's a beautiful kind of open, it's kind of a prayer for all those folks, and for the woods and the animals and the trees and so on and so forth, all that devastation. Flooded Studios wants to know, Jeff, do you ever listen to Morphine? Yeah, I've listened to Morphine quite a bit over the years. They pretty much introduced me to sax heavy music. Yeah, an incredible band, and we've covered some of their stuff with Dave Matthews actually. So yeah, check out Morphine. If you haven't checked out Morphine, check out Morphine. Leander wants to know, what interval do you use for your distinct sound? It has to be 2 horns for that sound. Yeah, I do a lot of layering. I do a lot of woodwinds layering. I've got everything from bass flute to piccolo, tenor, alto, soprano, baritone saxophones. I've also got a sopranino saxophone. I've got clarinet and bass clarinet. I've got different whistles and that kind of thing. So yeah, I go for a lot of layering in the sounds, and so yeah, good ears on that. Good ears. Don Harris, when recording a tune like that on the That's Just Gross Man, who lays down the first track? Which instrument, I mean? Well, for something like that, that's a great question also. So for something like that, I kind of had a demo together that was to a click track, which means it's basically to a grid. And so I was able to share that with everybody. And I would normally put the drums on first, which is what we did. So I would give Keith a part that he could listen to that had like the drum loop on it, just so that he could hear the tune in its entirety. But then I would also send him a file with no drums, so that he could play it along like that. And so the form has to be correct. I have to have charts together for everybody. We have to decide before we do it, how many solos is going to be, that kind of thing. So we have to have all those details worked out ahead of time. And so it's a challenge, but certainly very doable. We've made it work. So drums first, and then we add everything on top of that, because that's really the foundation. Yeah, that's always my choice. Ian Cruz, hey buddy, hope you're doing well, my friend. For a musician who can't perform during the current situation, what advice would you give to build a virtual performing presence? What kind of things should I or they be doing? Well, I think there's a lot of opportunity, to let friends and family in particular know what you're doing. Usually these streams that I do end up reaching between 4,000 and 5,000 people, and which is really fantastic. Now, I don't know how long everybody stays on, but normally when folks are watching, there's 50 or 60 people watching at a time, and people come and go. So I think that if there's people directly in your community, or Ian, I know you teach also your students, you can let people know what's going on, and have something that you provide that is of interest to people. I hope that what I do is interesting to people. It's interesting to me. You don't have to do 45 minutes or an hour. You could very easily start with 15 minutes, do like Thursdays 15 or Tuesdays 15, whatever, 10 minutes, whatever it is, just to kind of start something. And if it feels like you want to go longer, then go longer. You could play a solo piece. You could play a video that you've done. You could do any number of different things. You can talk about the saxophone. You can, show people what it looks like, and you could teach a lesson. You could teach a little master class. Any number of different things. Just figure out, kind of what it is that you'd like to share with people, and they'll see that your passion is there for it. So I definitely recommend that. Let's see. Can you play a tune for National Daughters Day, Sister, a song that James likes? Well, all I would be doing would be playing my horn parts on those. So, what I'll do is thanks for that, Timothy. But I'll dedicate this next piece that I'm doing to National Daughters Day for sure. For all you daughters out there, all you women that are out there, you're all daughters also. All the moms, all the grandmothers and great grandmothers, you're all daughters also. So, love and blessings to you all. Let's see. The Shruti box, where's it from? Well, I believe it's from India. But the harmonium is actually a British instrument that was brought to India. So it's maybe it's British. I have no idea. But if you look it up, that's spelled right. Shruti, Shruti box. So if you look it up, you'll find out where it is from, but I'm really not sure. Derek, what are the fingerings like on a Terregato compared to saxophone? They're actually very, very similar because they're both in B flat, and because it's a conical bore, it doesn't overblow like a clarinet. So it's very similar to a soprano sax, which is helpful, but it's also confusing sometimes because it feels like a clarinet. So when I'm playing it, I start to go into clarinet fingering sometimes, and it's really strange. It also has 2 octave keys. So once you get above, I think, the A in the second octave, you have to use the second octave key. But it's very close. It's very similar. Yeah. What is your favorite album you made with either the Flecktones or Dave Matthews Band? Well, that's really hard to say. because the records that I've done with those two groups over the last 25 years have all been decidedly different. And, each record kind of has its own particular slant, its own particular character and voice, I'm not sure that I could pick one. I'm very fond of the very first one that we did with the Flecktones, Left of Cool. That was really my introduction into their world, also, and into that world of music. I don't know. I'm just going to say that one for now. But I love them all. They're all really. Oh, Little Worlds also. That 3-record set we did with the Flecktones. Man, that thing is monumental. There's, I think that many years from now, people will look back at that record and be like, "Wow, this is a powerful, powerful record." There's a lot of love in that record. Tamara, how do you guys decide so quickly on a jam melody? Well, we listen to each other. We're great listeners, so it's not unlike jamming a conversation, or jamming a story with somebody. You listen and you react and you interact and you let people say what they're going to say, and before you know it, you're all doing something together. So it's through listening. That's a great question, though. It's through listening. Pear, how optimistic are you about the future of live performances? Boy, that's a tough question, man. I'm optimistic, but I think it's still going to be a while. I don't know, man. I mean, we're still losing over 1,000 people a day. We're over 200,000 deaths from coronavirus. Over 600,000 children have had it. This is no joke, man. In 7 months, we've lost 200,000 people. And, that's more than any war. That's more than all the wars combined since World War II. This is no joke, man. And so we'll see. We'll see when the vaccine comes out, if the vaccine comes out, how effective it is. Is the government going to mandate it? We're going to have to be tested before we go a certain place. There's a lot of questions, and there's not a whole lot of answers coming out from a lot of people. And I'll just leave it at that. You all know where I stand on things. But so I'm hopeful, Pear. I'm optimistic that it'll come back in some fashion. I'm not sure when or exactly what it will look like, but man, fingers crossed, because I'm ready to get back to work. I am ready to get back to work, and somebody told me the other day in Canada that there was zero COVID deaths that day. And the reason for that is that they're following the protocol. And there's a lot of people south of that border who are not following the protocol. And those are the people that are keeping us from getting back to work. So please, man, do the right thing, And because you all say that you love entertainment and you miss it so much, and so do we. But there's a lot of people that will argue against doing certain things that are preventative measures. So I'm just asking you, man, I want to get back to work. I want to be back playing for y'all. And I know the whole band wants that too. And so obviously you can do whatever the fuck you want to do, but I'm asking you to just think about some other people too. Those of you that aren't following the protocols, and please, I'm just asking you nicely, man. So yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed, Pear. Another question, Leslie, what was the toughest song in the D&B catalog to learn? Wow, man, I would say, well, Rapunzel was really hard at first because I had no idea what time signature it was in. And I remember when we would open with the Flecktones, we'd be listening to that tune, and we could not figure it out. We were like, what is going on here? And it's in 5 for those that don't know. Of course, I figured it out. But I think the hardest tune to learn was probably Last Stop. There's just a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in that tune, but it's a great tune. Gabby Murray, what are you most looking for after COVID is done? Maybe looking forward to? Man, just being able to see my family, be able to see my friends, being able to hug people, and not be in fear for theirs or my life, and um, just to get back to a different sense of normalcy. Um, it's strange. Like, I'm a very huggy person, and so it's weird not being able to do that. You know, I don't hug my wife, thank God, but um, yeah, I haven't hugged anybody else in months. It's really weird. It's really weird. So, um, well, let's see. Any hope we might hear you in tomorrow's Farm Aid events? I didn't even know Farm Aid was tomorrow. So that's a big no to that one. I have no idea what's going on with that. But yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It's probably chilling out, working on some music. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this microphone off, and I'm going to play that track for you. And we'll just we'll take the 10 or 11 minutes that it's going to take, and or maybe I'll stop and say goodbye or whatever, fade it out, and just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. So I think I'm going to start on tenor and then go to Terregato, and we'll see what happens. All right. Again, you guys, thank you so much for tuning into this. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I hope you guys take good care of yourselves and take care of each other. And, again, thank you for checking this out. Check out itastudiostreams.com if you're interested in donating to local Nashville musicians there through this podcast, through this live stream, rather. So, okay, here we go. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's 8 p.m. and it's time to go. I think there's something on. There's something online at 8 p.m. tonight that I really wanted to watch. I can't remember what it is. I'll have to find out. But anyways, it was cool, whatever it was. There's also a really great Charles Lloyd show tomorrow night online with Julian Lage on guitar and the great Zakir Hussain. And if I remember, I'll put something out on Facebook about that as well. But check it out if you can. So anyhow, y'all take care of yourselves. Take good care of each other. And happy birthday to my sister Laurie and my niece Morgan. Hi, Yuko. Everybody say goodbye, Yuko. I'm going to write it right now. Goodbye, Yuko. XOXO. All right. So thanks for listening. Hey, Tammy, I see you on there. Tammy Danielson, what's up? So talk to everybody soon. Stay tuned. I might be moving to YouTube as soon as next week, but I'll let you all know. Or I might just take a week off. We'll see what happens. All right. Take care, y'all. Thanks again for checking it out. Peace.